Hi, guys. It's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Okay, I see this, but it's not showing up in my StreamYard. Hold on. I see okay, there's the new icons. We have new icons, guys. So we have wrong one. I gotta go up here. Donald. Oh, it's not showing up in my StreamYard. Linus, CJ, Bay, Fozzie. Although it's not showing up, I can't put them on the screen. But you can see them in chat. They're just very, very tiny. Fozzie, good job. All I see in my chat box are the words that way down. Everybody's using the icons. And I just see the words. But now we can talk to people without typing their name. There you go, Jennifer. You figured it out. Hey, Lori. Sandra, Fozzie, Michael, CJ, Beck, Kelly. Who'd I miss? Rebecca, you were first. Although Kelly is first every single day. I really thought Kelly was going to beat me today because I forgot to press like on my own video. Oh, another doctor's appointment, Kelly. Come on. Remember, this week, no one's going to get injured. No one's going to get injured or hurt this week except for Michael. Michael's going to stub his toe. I'm sorry, Michael. Watch, he's going to stub his toe this week and he's going to blame me. And that's fine. I called it. Poor Michael. All right. So, man, I went through a lot of videos today. I went through a ton of videos today. Left-handed RN. Yay, thank you. Good. Stay in bed. Stay there for a little bit longer. Trying to say, okay, let's start with an update, guys. Let's start with an update. For those of you who don't know, we've been following Molina, Miss Molina, around Colorado for quite a while now. I think she started with like 13 or 15 cases. And like every time she does a little bit more that they ask her to do, they drop another case and they drop another case. Last time we were here, I don't think they dropped any cases though. And she wanted to move to another state. I can't remember what state. Texas, I think. I think it was Texas, was it? Yes. She wanted to move to Texas because apparently she had a house there. Her father passed away and she gets the house. I don't know how true that is. She doesn't talk about it at all. But we do get an update on her today. She looks so much better. Here we go. That's her just talking to Chris for a while. They were there for a while talking together. I just recorded the end of it. They were just sitting beside each other, just talking away. This is the prosecutor. And that's Miss Molina. Don't worry, he's going to turn the sound on in a second. Your sound is fine. I wonder what he said there.
Good morning, Mr. Reynolds, again.
I saw you yesterday.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You saw me
You
yesterday.
waved to me.
She probably didn't see you.
No, I did. When I was walking in the park, I think I did see you.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, then you did see me. You
And
waved.
I did wave, right?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I saw you. I was like, oh, look,
One,
look, I
two.
see you. I told you. I was like, I see you.
Yeah, I waved. I tried to wave. I was talking to our new navigator, but I think I did hear your voice, and I tried to wave to where I heard it. So. Go ahead, Mr. Reynolds.
I'm just writing down some information with Veronica's cases here. I don't know if you heard, Your Honor, but she just asked you how you were doing.
Oh, I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing well. It's nice to see you in the park.
I love the park.
It's nice to see you. I love seeing you.
Okay.
We get happy Molina today.
All right, there we go. I just had to pull up the window. Now we can all see each other. So, Your Honor, got some really good news about Miss Molina. You want Villalobos? But
Let's go with Molina Villalobos.
Molina Villalobos. She has a reserve bed at the shelter. We were able to confirm with somebody else who's staying at the shelter that she is staying at the shelter, which is really, 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 really good. She has an appointment today with the case manager up at the shelter at 1 p.m. Her name is Miriam. But because Veronica here has done all this great work, I'm happy to move to dismiss 3 of her oldest cases, which would be 3495, 3605, and 3595. And the condition of that dismissal would be reserved bed at the shelter. And next week, if you want to just maybe update us on how your meeting went today, and maybe bring something from that meeting if you can. It's okay if you don't, but if you bring something from that meeting, you can start getting rid of some of your other cases too. And just whittling them down. So really,
Guys, you won't understand this. So just go make a sandwich or something for 1 second. She has hair ties on her wrist, and they're actually like moving, they're wiggling. So I think 5th grade was the last day I was able to put a hair tie on my wrist and have it move. Her wrist must be like this big, because hair ties don't move. They leave a little dent in your wrist if you leave them on too long, but not her. And then it really itches. So you can't leave hair ties on your wrists, but she can. Her arms must be so thin.
really great work on Veronica's part, and just she seems to be doing really well. And you know, one of my favorite parts of any Thursday out here is getting to see Veronica and hear about all the great work that she's been up to, and it's just been really wonderful to see.
I'm glad to hear it. You'll look and sound good, so I'm really glad to hear all of this, Miss Molina Villalobos. So I'm going to go ahead and put the information in the system so that later today our navigators can work with the prosecutors to get those 3 cases dismissed. It'll be case number 243495, 243605, and 243595. All 3 of those will be dismissed. We're going to reset the other cases that are still out there for next week, so make sure you come back.
Okay, I will. I'll be here.
You're doing great. We're all really proud of you. Keep working.
Thank you.
You're
Welcome.
there we go.
Bye.
All right. Well,
Bye.
all right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Picture in Discord, please. Right away, you got to go to Maiko. Right away. Want to know why, guys? Because it is Maiko. Okay. Now we're going to... It's called Trainwreck. Oh, yeah, it's Trainwreck. This is like, you see that this is going to be a train wreck in the future, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. I don't think this is going to blow our eardrums out. Just let's see. I'll stop it right away. Don't worry.
Is it my cat?
Nope,
Is he filling out an application?
Yes, sir.
No?
I don't think so.
Do you have files on him now, or is he pro se? You do have some
Got
files.
an open file.
Just one or multiple? Two? Well, I've got 10.
CJ, get a Band-Aid.
So what's happening?
We showed 9, Your Honor.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Is it
do
Mikette?
you?
Close enough, ma'am.
You were present when I did the advisement of rights earlier?
Yes, Your Honor.
I can't hear you.
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Mikette, I have 10 different files on my docket today. Multiple of these are actually just warrant hearings. And what that means is that you just missed a court date on these. And so we need to talk about just resetting that court date and discussing bond. And so I don't need to advise you on the charges on those because you've already been advised on those charges. But I do have a couple of new things here today that I do need to talk to you about. The first...
I don't know how I stop myself from deleting Fozzie's comments sometimes, but I do. I do. And it takes all of my strength and effort. Now I need a nap.
Being Mag 20-15-23, and that is a warning ticket violation file that you're here on. Way back, it appears maybe in 2020, Mr. Mikette, you had received a warning ticket. It appears that you never provided proof that you fixed whatever that was or whatever they gave you the warning on, and so now that comes back and they can assert or assess a fine on that because you never proved that you fixed whatever that is. So the warning ticket violation offense is punishable by a fine only. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you're also charged in criminal 24-7585 with having sexual contact with a person without consent, and that person would have been capable of consenting. It's a class 1 misdemeanor. It is punishable by 1 year in the county jail and or a $2,000 fine. Do you understand that charge and that potential penalty?
I understand.
And you do not wish to be represented by an attorney in that matter?
Correct.
So you don't want an attorney?
Correct.
So you want to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is it your intention to enter a not guilty plea and request pretrial conference and jury trial dates in that then?
Yes.
Okay. Now you do have an attorney on a couple of these files from before on the warrant hearings. Do you know which ones that you have open?
Mag 24-3039 and Mag 24-2984.
So you have
Thank you,
2984
Fozzie.
and 3039.
Correct.
So you do have 2 trespass cases, Mr. Mikette, that you do have representation on, but then you have a whole host of other ones you do not. So you're representing yourself on some, and you have an attorney on a couple of others. So did you want an attorney on all of them? Just try to handle them all together?
I wasn't aware there was an attorney on it.
I can't really hear you, sir.
I wasn't aware there was an attorney on it. I'm just going to represent myself.
Okay. So the not guilty pleas will be maintained in all the files on which he has not guilty pleas entered already. He intends to enter not guilty plea on the 2 new files today and representing himself. State's position on the bonds.
On that 7585, we're requesting a PR no contact order with Veterans Memorial Park and the victim, Sandra Minor. Give me just a second to look through all the other ones. I believe it's going to be PR on the rest.
Okay, the no contact request was with Sandra Minor and what else?
It's a no contract order with Sandra Minor and Veterans Memorial Park. That was the location at which that sexual contact without consent occurred.
Yay, thank you, Crystal.
So Mikette, the state is indicating that they'd be agreeable with PR bonds in all of these matters on the conditions that you be on your good behavior, stay in contact with your attorney, and make all your court appearances. However, in the new sexual contact case, they are requesting a no contact order in which you would have no contact with a Sandra Ann Minor. That would be no face-to-face contact, no telephone calls, no text messages, no social media contact, no third-party contact, no contact of any kind. Additionally, they would be asking for no contact with a Veterans Memorial Park because apparently that's where this allegation arises. You understand that their requests on that?
Yes, sir.
You have anything to say about that?
No, sir.
Okay. So I will order that you have no contact with that individual, as well as Veterans Memorial Park. Mr. Maquette, I can't give you legal advice, but you do have about 10 different files going right now. It may be in your best interest to have somebody help you navigate
Thank
and
you,
negotiate on your
Crystal.
behalf here. You do have representation on 2 of the files already. They certainly could ask the court to package them all together to keep them all together. But right now, you got an attorney on 2 of them that's going to show up at your next pretrial and jury trial date, and you don't have an attorney on the other 8 that you're representing yourself on. And so they're going to be negotiating on 2 of them. You're going to have to negotiate on the other 8 with the state. It's going to kind of be a mess here until you figure out exactly how you're going to move forward. But we're going to get you pretrial conference and jury trial dates. Once you have those, we'll be off the record, and these matters are no longer holding you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Crystal. That was nice. All this green. We got some old new faces in today, and it's so lovely. Every day we have different people in here. People we haven't seen in a while. And then every day we have the same people in here. Where's my folder? Okay. This one's interesting. We're going to stay in South Dakota for another minute. And this one's really interesting.
Ms. Kane, present earlier when I did the advisement of rights.
Yes, Your Honor.
Understood those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're hearing Colonel 247564 in that file in counts 1 and 2. You're charged with 2 alternative counts of driving under the influence is alleged to be a 5th or subsequent offense. It's a class 4 felony punishable by up to 10 years in the women's prison and or a $20,000 fine. Additionally, a 5th or subsequent offense under the new state laws passed about a year and a half ago require that if you are convicted, and it is in fact a 5th or subsequent offense, a mandatory minimum of 4 years prison, one of which must be served on parole, and at a bare minimum, a 3-year driver's license revocation. You understand that charge and that penalty first and foremost.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then you're also charged with driving with a revoked license. It's a class 1 misdemeanor. And due to the nature of the revocation, you're also subject to a mandatory minimum of 20 days of county jail time on that charge. You're charged with no insurance, which is a class 2 misdemeanor, punished by up to 30 days in the county jail and or a $500 fine, and a seatbelt violation, which is a petty offense, punished by a $25 fine only. Then in POA 2420067, you're charged with speeding. It is a fine only offense at $137.50. So you understand the remaining charges and the potential penalties there.
Yes, Your Honor.
I do have an application for court-appointed attorney you filled out here today. This is your signature on this document.
Yes, sir.
Information contained in this true and accurate to the best of your knowledge and ability.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you find that you qualify? Will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Accept the appointment, waive further reading and advising.
State's position on the bond.
State's requesting $5,000 cash in this case. Defendant's on parole for felony DWI offense, and she here blew a .215 at 11:30 a.m. She was speeding and looked to be considering eluding law enforcement officers. Prior to DWIs, 2 in 2016, 1 in 2019, and 1 in 2023. She also has a DWI from Minnesota in 2021. So this is really a 6th DWI in 10 years. She's a threat to the community, even while out on parole supervision, continues this dangerous behavior. And you noted the mandatory minimums that she's subject to under the current charges. For those reasons, we're requesting the cash bond.
I shouldn't make an assumption, but in addition to the cash bond, if she's able to post that, I assume you'd be requiring 24/7.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Booth.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would ask the court for lower cost surety or PR bond here. Ms. Kane does live here in Sioux Falls. Been in the Sioux Falls area most of her life, does have family in the area. She is working as a full-time caregiver and part-time at a boutique. She's primary care for her sister who's in hospice right now and her mom. Looks like her DOC term expires August 5th of 2032. Sounds like she believes that her parole officer is going to release the hold.
It was a while
Seems
ago.
like this really boiled down to a relapse. She says she does have insurance on the vehicle. That vehicle was her mom's vehicle with regards to the allegations of eluding, she reports say she did take off right away and then quickly pulled into another parking lot. Admitted that she had thought about it to the officers and then had decided not to. And I think a lot of that was due with the fear there. So would ask court take that all into consideration here for lower cash surety or PR bond. I would note I don't see any prior FTAs on her PSA as well.
Thank you. Review the pretrial service inventory
There
prior
we
to
go,
court.
guys.
Ms. Kane scores at a 2-3, which is really low for somebody that's looking at it. DUI 5th or subsequent, or even 6th or subsequent. I went back and I did look, and Ms. Kane, you did plead guilty, or you were found guilty at least, or a 5th or subsequent back on July the 6th of 2023. So unless there's some reason that Minnesota one, well, that wouldn't make any sense either. I think this is charged incorrectly. I think you're looking at 6th or subsequent, possibly, which would even be more time of mandatory minimum in prison. I think you went into DOC custody on the last one for a period of time under the mandatory minimum. Am I correct? And Ms. Kane, you're not going to want to hear this, but I just came back from judicial conference about a week or so ago, at which time the Secretary of Corrections told all the judges in the state that we're not sending people to prison long enough because we're sending them on such short sentences that they don't have time to get you through full-blown treatment programs. That says to me, you're going to start seeing judges across the state send people like you to prison longer. So if you ever see the Secretary of Corrections come walking around when you're in Pier, you can talk to her about that. The reason I bring that up is if you're convicted of this or you plead guilty to this, that's where you're going back. And if you're going to go back there,
I pressed this little button again by mistake. Hold on, I'm getting it. Preset. There we go. I'm going to rewind it 10 seconds.
the reason I bring that up is if you're convicted of this or you plead guilty to this, that's where you're going back. And if you're going to go back there, might as well start counting the days right now. I can't put you back on the street. Can't. I understand relapse is a part of recovery. But if you're on parole for a 5th or subsequent DUI, and you're PBTing at 215 at 11:30 a.m. And I put you, hold on, and I put you back on the street. Do you know what this town would say? Do you know what happens if that gets into the press? And I quite frankly, I don't care what the press says.
I know, but without a driver's license,
Ms. Kane,
I
I
don't know
advise.
who
Doesn't
that
stop you
is.
from driving.
for a restart.
You think no driver's license stops anybody in this town from driving?
I know.
Come on. I was born at night. I wasn't born last night. Here's what I'm saying. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's an absolute danger to the public, and I'm not going to continue to put the public in danger. You're PBT at 215 at 11:30 in the morning. And if this is headed where I think it's headed, you're off to the Department of Corrections.
I don't know who that is. I'm not sure who you're talking about.
For quite a period of time. We might as well start counting the days right now. $5,000 cash only. On the conditions of good behavior, stay in contact with your attorney, make all your court appearances, that you have no alcohol, that you comply with parole, and if you are able to post that $5,000 cash bond, that you participate in the 24/7 project by scram brace at PBTs twice daily, remote breath, any method available. In addition, that you do not drive without valid license and insurance. This is going to be set for a 15-day preliminary hearing. We're going to get you that information now. Once you have it, we're off the record in that matter. Pass the POA along.
Tammy, no, we haven't heard from her in a while. But she was doing better. She was doing better the last time that she came in, which is excellent. So in South Dakota, the secretary of whatever it was said that the judges aren't sentencing people long enough. They need to start sentencing them to longer sentences so that they have time to get through recovery and all the programs that they have. So we're going to start seeing higher sentences in South Dakota. The only problem with that is we can't get South Dakota. This is the only court in South Dakota I can find. So that stinks, but at least here we'll see. We should see a difference. Who knows? Who knows? And we're going to do one more from this judge, and then we're going to move on from South Dakota.
I did the advise on the rights earlier.
Yes, sir.
Understood those rights?
Yes, sir.
You're hearing Colonel 247559. In that file, you're charged with 3 alternative counts of domestic abuse, simple assault. Again, 1 crime. You can only be punished 1 time for that. It is a punishment up to 1 year in the county jail and or a $2,000 fine. Do you understand the charge and the potential penalty?
Yes, sir.
I do have an application for court-appointed attorney you filled out here today. This is your signature on this document.
Yes, sir.
Information contained in this is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge and ability.
Yes, sir.
I do find that you qualify. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
We accept the appointment, waive further reading and advising.
State's position on bond.
State's requesting a $500 cash-only bond, Your Honor, with a no contact with Stephanie Wall. Defendant has a history with this victim. In February of this year, he was charged with simple assault domestic and interference with 911 communication. And then in April, he was charged and later pled guilty to a VPO, domestic violence. Here, he borderline ag assaults her, seemingly tried to prevent her from getting away by not giving her phone back and by tampering with her vehicle. The reporting party, Stephanie Wall, told dispatch that her ex-boyfriend disconnected something in her vehicle that was preventing her from leaving and then reconnected it. Dispatch could hear Zachary saying, "Fuck you," and "Why are you doing this to me?" She then told him, "You strangled me and please get out so I can leave." In addition, defendant was charged with threatening and harassing calls in November of 2021.
This is Minnehaha.
Violent and controlling nature of this assault combined with the history of violent charges, most of which are related to the same victim, demonstrate he's a risk to reoffend and violates this court's orders. He's failed to abide by the NCO with regard to this victim before, and there's no reason to believe he won't do the same
I have
now.
to get that.
Just a little bit more from the factual basis. Stephanie stated, "You have no right to take away my phone from me and detain me. Get out of my car." Dispatch reported the male then got out of the vehicle and began throwing her stuff outside. Law enforcement arrived on scene and spoke to Stephanie, who was crying and said she'd broken up with the defendant about a month ago and had been living at Children's Inn. Stephanie had gone to defendant's residence that day because he was telling her he would have sex with other women in their bed, and she still had a good bit of property at his place. When she got here, they got into an argument as he was going through her phone and trying to call other males on her phone. She tried grabbing her phone back, and defendant grabbed her arm in response, which left what she showed them were bruises on her arm. She said that after defendant grabbed her by the neck and threw her on the bed, he used both hands and squeezed for an estimated 3 to 4 seconds, causing her throat to emit a noise and left it feeling sore. There were no marks on her neck. Stephanie advised that she tried to flail or scratch defendant in response to get him to stop assaulting her. Defendant did have bruises under his eye, but Stephanie said he told her this was from a bar fight. He conversely said it was from her. Defendant then threw her phone on the ground and went to her vehicle and disconnected something initially before reconnecting it. Based on those facts, we're requesting that cash bond and the no contact.
Smooth.
Your Honor, we will be asked for lower cost surety, a PR bond here. Zachary does live here in Sioux Falls, been in the Sioux Falls area his entire life. Is currently working, does have family in the area, does have kids at home, ages 6 and 4 that he's supporting. With regards to the facts here, state indicated there's no marks on the alleged victim's neck or no other indicators to show that she actually was choked or strangled, as she put it. Also in here, the alleged victim does tell police that she never actually sees the defendant disconnect anything. Zachary's claiming that he was just checking the oil levels and other fluid levels in the vehicle, as he does have a history and some experience with cars and mechanic work. He, as indicated, he does also have injuries. He's got a bruise on his face as well as some scratches that are from the alleged victim here. I don't note any failure to appears in the past. As state indicated, he does have the one violation protection order. However, there's only one count there, only one charge. I don't see any others in his history. As far, looks like that the alleged victim has moved out of the house. So they no longer live together, understands the no contact order with that. Ultimately, one of the biggest things he's concerned about is losing his job currently. So he can continue to be able to support his kids.
Okay. If you missed everything that has happened so far up until now, the past 4 minutes, you didn't hear it all. That's the part you have to remember. He's worried about losing his job if he stays in jail because he has to take care of his kids. All right. Ready? Let's go, Judge. On cue.
So would just ask the court to take that all in consideration here.
Everybody's worried about losing jobs and everybody's worried about feeding their kids, but they never think about it when they're in the moment doing stupid stuff. There's too much history here with this particular individual. Mr. Gunderson needs a little skin in the game, $500 cash only on the conditions of good behavior, stay in contact with your attorney, make all your court appearances. Then you have absolutely no contact whatsoever with Stephanie Wall. No face-to-face contact, no telephone calls, no text messages, no social media contact, no third-party contact, no contact of any kind. This is going to be set for a quick pretrial conference. That'll be next week with me, corresponding jury trial date.
It gets better.
We'll get you those dates here in a minute. Once you have those, we're off the record in that matter.
Thank you.
People quickly learn in my courtroom that I do not care about their children or their jobs or their treatment more than they do.
You go, Judge. And that's true. Why should the judge care more about your kids than you do? Why? Give me one reason why. There's no reason why. None. Zip, zap. Okay. Now we're going to go to Judge Wolf. We haven't seen Judge Wolf in a while, and nothing really crazy happens, but CJ and Rebecca like Judge Wolf a lot. So I'm playing this for them.
Participate in that, even though he's not filed a valid answer. So, Mr. Lancaster, if you will have a seat over here to my left. No, not there.
Oh,
over there.
just Beck. Beck's
Not yet.
favorite
We'll
judge.
bring you up to put you in the witness stand in just a moment. Mr. Odell, you want to put on your proof?
Yes, I call Miss
Hassett, if you'll come around. Raise your right hand, please. You place on the road.
Raise your right hand, please.
So raise-
She does not talk loud. Nothing I can do will make her talk louder. But don't worry, after she's done, everybody else talks loud enough.
Raise your right hand. Stand up, please. Sorry. A lot of these. Go ahead.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Heck
Down
yes.
to that seat. Mr. Odell, you may ask.
Ms. Hester, could you please state your full name?
We're going to ask you to speak up. This is a courtroom that the sound is not very good, so I need you to speak loudly enough for anyone in the back of the courtroom to hear you, okay?
She doesn't.
Move up a little bit to the scoochie chair up there so you can speak into the microphone. There you go.
Ms. Hester, were you previously married to Ryan Lancaster?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And were you divorced by entry of the final decree entered on January 10th, 2024?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you and Mr. Lancaster have 2 children, is that correct?
Lancaster.
Yes.
Okay. The final decree of divorce incorporated a parenting plan that gave Mr. Lancaster certain parenting time with children, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what are the names of your children?
Christian Hassett and William Lancaster.
Okay. And how old are they?
My youngest is 6 and my oldest is 11.
After entry of that final decree that incorporated the parenting plan, did something happen that caused you to file a petition for emergency restraining order and to modify that parenting plan?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell the court what that was?
He had the children with him in a motel and got extremely intoxicated. He passed out in the pool, and my kids they did not know how to swim.
That sounds so
and my
sad,
oldest
Lori.
had reached out to the motel staff because he had choked him in the motel room. And he was trying to get a hold of me. And
See, Fozzie's trying to make me delete his comments. He's trying. Hi, Patty.
Mr. Lancaster would not let him get hold of me. He knew why, and that is why he proceeded to choke my son on the motel room.
Which child was that?
Christian Hassard.
And tell the court what happened after you received that phone call.
After I received that phone call, they said that they had to involve the police and call DCS there and make a report for child abuse and child endangerment and assault of a minor because he put both of their lives at risk and in danger. He was court ordered not to drink with the children, and he proceeded to do so anytime they were with him.
Is that a bad thing, Crystal? Should we not do that anymore?
And
Were there other instances where he was drinking excessively?
yes, and they said that the evidence submitted to DCS was that there was a gallon of rum in the room with them.
And you were not aware when you dropped the children off that he had any alcohol with him?
No.
Okay, did you look?
Yes, I looked, and my oldest son told me that he had hidden in the bathroom. And almost as soon as I left, he proceeded to drink and denied my child to contact me.
Was Mr. Lancaster charged with aggravated child abuse resulting from that incident?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Hassard, are you employed?
Yes.
And you and the children live in McEwen, is that correct?
In Waverly.
Okay. Ms. Hassard, we've attached a proposed parenting plan to the petition, and you've seen that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what are you asking the court to enter in the way of a parenting plan moving forward?
I want for him not to be able to be around the children, zero visitation whatsoever, because he has constantly become intoxicated with them despite court orders several different times, and he is a danger and a threat to their lives.
You're asking the court to make give you discretion to make all major decisions?
Yes.
And is your gross monthly income $4,246?
Yes.
Are you asking the court to impute his income at $3,000 per month?
Yes.
The children are currently on 10 care, is that correct?
I'm having to get it renewed as of right now. They have no coverage. I'm waiting for the approval.
And Ms. Hassard, during the entirety of the children's lives, have you been the primary caregiver for them?
Yes, I've been the only one that's stayed and worked the entire time.
Just describe briefly your relationship with the children.
I have a close relationship with them. I help them with their schoolwork. I play with them. We have no activities. On my weekends off, we go to the bar, do other things.
Thank you, Judge. That's all mine. That's perfect.
Well, Mr. Hassard, I'm going to give you a chance to testify yourself, but right now it's their opportunity to put on their proof. Let me make sure I'm understanding correctly that not only did he fall asleep at the pool, but then you're alleging that, or the allegations are that he physically abused one of the children. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's why he's charged with aggravated child abuse.
Yes, sir.
And that was the oldest child, Christian.
Yes.
And according to your petition, he, while he was intoxicated, threw the iPad against the wall in Super 8 where they were staying, and he also then grabbed him by the arm, drug him across the bed, and grabbed him by the neck and held him down by his neck.
Yes, sir.
And all of this was related to you by the children.
Yes.
And then when the police arrived, they charged him with aggravated child abuse and aggravated on 2 counts of that. And that's what he's in jail for now.
Yes, sir.
And then while he's been in jail, as I understand, according to your petition, he's attempted to make contact in violation of the bond condition.
Yes, sir. I just called the jail and have him block my number.
All right. Mr. Grove, do you have anything else? Thank you. You may sit down.
Now, children, if you're ever in this situation and the judge tries to give you a good warning, try to listen. Try to listen. This guy does not listen.
Do you have any other witnesses, Mr. Rowe? Mr. Hassler, Mr. Lancaster, if you want to testify about this situation and give your version of the events, come around. You've been placed under oath, so I'm going to remind you of one thing. You have pending criminal charges against you in Humphreys County, and those are serious felony charges. You understand that?
Yes.
You also understand that you do not have to testify about those circumstances of what happened that led to you being arrested. If you choose to testify about those events, then the attorney for your wife or former wife can cross-examine you about those questions. In fact, he can ask you questions about that right now, and you have the right to decline to answer under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. Our Fifth Amendment says that no one has to be forced to give testimony that would implicate them in a criminal activity. So while I'm going to give you an opportunity to testify, I'm reminding you that anything you say today is being recorded. It will be available to be used against you in the prosecution of those felony charges. So you need to decide whether or not you want to testify or say anything about these events. You understand all those rights?
Yes, I do. I have a statement prepared, Your Honor.
All right, you can read your statement.
Your Honor, members of the prosecution in this court, I would first like to apologize for having to read this statement. As much as I would rather speak these words from my heart, I find that doing this way under documentation lacks a certain genuine sincerity. However, due to the critical degree and seriousness of my thoughts, I find like this is the only way to convey the accuracy and depth of the thoughts and emotions in my heart. First, I would like to say that I fully understand this motion, and while the prosecution as well as my wife thinks that it's needed. However, as I understand, I cannot agree as a majority of this motion is absurdly false and fabricated by the prosecution. I will say with utmost honesty that very few statements in this motion are true and factual. I acutely, and I do mean acutely, remember every moment that occurred that day, and I'm severely struck by the fact this motion exists. This motion is stating and requesting that an ex parte restraining order be granted and amend the current parenting plan set forth by my wife and myself. I'm requesting that this motion be denied due to the fact as no contact order is currently in place for the events in question. To grant this motion would simply be repeating actions that are already in place. I'm currently unable to have any contact with my children under any circumstances until otherwise granted by the courts. Furthermore, when granted, my contact will be ordered supervised until progress is made. On the subject of progress, I'm currently incarcerated, and while being so, I've taken part in several therapy programs to better myself as roles of father, including anger management, conflict resolution, celebrate recovery, co-parenting, mind restructuring, behavioral therapy, financial therapy, and fatherhood training. These numerous therapy sessions have greatly benefited my well-being. I'm also pre-enrolled in outpatient therapy as well as Aikido, a martial art that's centered around spiritual well-being and discipline and centeredness.
At least he's learning how to fight in prison.
On a separate note, I would like to request that my wife take similar steps to heal her past as well as I take steps to heal mine. I say this because I want us to learn to work together peacefully as unified co-parents for our 2 children. In closing, I again ask the courts this motion be denied due to unnecessary repetition as well as giving me a significant opportunity for my wife and myself to be the loving and productive co-parents my children so intensely deserve.
I'm glad that he said in his statement that his wife needs to change.
Mr. Odle, you have any questions?
Just briefly, Your Honor. So, Mr. Lancaster, you would agree with me that on the May 28th, you were exercising visitation with your children, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And you got extremely intoxicated, didn't you?
I did not get extremely intoxicated, no.
Okay. Were you drinking alcohol?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And police were called to the hotel by management of the hotel. Is that correct?
According to my recollection, yes.
Okay. And they made that phone call because you were drunk, correct?
I do not recall being drunk. As I stated, I remember every single instance that happened that day. Specifically, the allegation of me being passed out by the pool is simply did not happen. I will swear under oath that did not happen. I remember all the games we were playing. I remember everything that happened that day.
And you had hidden alcohol from Miss Hassert when she dropped the children for the visit, right?
I do not recall hiding it. And as previously stated, hiding it in the bathroom. I did not hide it in the bathroom. It was just sitting on the counter.
You had it. You knew you weren't supposed to have it when you were visiting the children, correct?
Yes.
So you readily admit that you violated the previous parenting plan by doing so. And one of the children got on his iPad and started using it, correct? You recall that?
Yes, I do. Christian had asked me numerous times that day to hook up the Wi-Fi to the iPad. Before I did that, we went down to the pool and we were playing games. He was in the shallow end. I was in the deep end.
Jed knows that's where it stays the coldest. If you're going to hide alcohol, hide it inside the back of the toilet. It stays nice and cold.
I would swim under the water and just kind of, get his, touch his legs, a little bit to, kind of playing the shark game. After that, we did leave the pool after having a very good time at the pool. And we came back up to the motel room. At that point in time, Christian asked me again about the Wi-Fi. And due to I've been taking prednisone, which is a steroid medication, and it can cause drastic mood changes. I therefore then I did become angry, and when I actually made contact with Christian, I'm sorry, I apologize. My hand was not choking him. It was in close proximity to his chest and neck, but I was not choking him. Christian was actually speaking to me the whole time.
You threw the iPad and broke it, didn't you?
I tossed the iPad behind me. I do not recall that iPad touching the wall. That had to be pre-existing damage.
And you were afraid that he was contacting his mother because you were drunk.
He said the damage to the iPad was pre-existing damage.
Actually, no, and I'm glad you brought that up. For some reason, I did not receive any calls from that Hassert. My phone had been dropping calls, and I could show you on the phone itself. My phone has since been stolen, but I did not receive any calls from her. I have never denied Christian from talking to his mother. I've never done that, even in the past, even with alcohol consumption. I've never done that.
You knew they were calling to tell their mother.
No, Donald. No, Donald. Everybody said hi to you 5 minutes ago. We're not going through all that again. No.
You were drunk.
No, I did not.
And you got charged with aggravated child abuse.
Yes.
Because of the events of that day, correct?
Yes.
And you've been incarcerated ever since.
I've been incarcerated, yes. Well, I have not been incarcerated ever since. I was incarcerated in Dixon, and I was able to bond out, and I was incarcerated here in Humphreys County.
Okay. What are you charged with here in Humphreys County?
It was a dispute between a construction customer and myself, and they are attempting to charge me with fraud.
Okay, so that's where you stole some money.
I did not steal money per se, but that is the alleged charge.
Judge, no further questions.
All right. Thank you, sir. You may step back over.
Thank you.
So that's where you stole some money.
Oh, you have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Hey, Kay, how you feeling? Is it feeling better today?
You wish to be heard in argument?
Just briefly, Judge, that Parties were divorced in January of this year. Mr. Lancaster, during a visitation, consumed a large amount of alcohol. He's got serious pending charges for assaulting children, and our position is that there's been a material change of circumstances, and it's in the best interest of the children that the proposed parenting plan be ordered by the court, and that he have no contact with the children moving forward.
Well, this job requires me to consider the best interest. The law requires me to consider the best interest of the children in every decision that I make. The rights of the parties are always subject to and inferior to the children's protection in certain situations. The parental rights of an individual are one of the most sacred rights that we have, and they're not lightly removed. It requires, for a termination of parental rights, a clear and convincing evidence. But the suspension of parental visitation is a matter that the court can consider the best interest of the minor children. Right now, Mr. Lancaster is facing some very serious criminal charges. The two aggravated child abuse charges, and against this court's advice as far as his rights under the Fifth Amendment, he's now testified, and he's given testimony that the state can now use in the prosecution to indicate, along with the testimony of the children, I assume, that he may be guilty of these charges. In any event, there is no question that under the prior decree of divorce, the final decree and parenting plan provided under subsection J, the following special provisions were to apply. Neither party shall consume alcohol or controlled substances other than a prescription immediately prior to or during the residential time of the minor children. Mr. Lancaster has admittedly violated that during the incident that occurred. This plan will be effective when the father moves out of the marital residence and upon the father completing an alcohol and drug program along with a demonstrated 4-month period of sobriety. So before he could even begin visiting under that prior order, he was supposed to have completed an alcohol and drug program along with a demonstrated 4-month period of sobriety. And under these circumstances, the court finds that he's clearly in violation of those provisions of the parenting plan, that the pending criminal charges against him arising from the alleged abuse of the minor children, along with his own testimony today about the circumstances, makes it very clear that right now it is in the best interest of the minor children that the parenting plan proposed by the mother, which suspends the father's visitation, be granted. This suspension is just that, a suspension of the current plan, and it will be up to you after you resolve these criminal charges and you're released from jail. Clearly, you can't have visitation while you're in jail. Once you are resolved, you've resolved these criminal charges and you're released from jail, whenever that may be, then you will have the burden of filing something with the court to try to come back before a judge and demonstrate to the judge, me or one of the others, that you have gotten control of your addiction to alcohol and drugs and that you are a fit person to have contact with your minor children. Any order that we put down is not permanent in the sense that it can never be altered. It's only permanent in the sense that until there's a material change of circumstances. I clearly find there is a material change of circumstances that occurred since the entry of the final decree and parenting plan in this case, and that Mr. Lancaster has violated the terms of that parenting plan, and basically upon the court finding of that, coupled with the fact that there are pending criminal charges involving the alleged abuse of the minor children, that visitation
Ham and cheese, please. Lettuce, mayonnaise.
is not appropriate at this time. So your motion is granted. Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll need to send a copy to Mr. Lancaster at the jail of this order. Thank you. Right, call this case.
Docket number 2024 PR 47 regarding the estate.
Okay. Now, before I move on, Rebecca, maybe you can answer my question. So Judge Wolf he had no help for a while, right? Like he was the judge for all these counties, and that's why he had his dockets were always so full and his calendars were always stuffed full. He just got a new judge assigned to help him, right? He has, like, I know he said in this, it's either me or another judge. That's sort of new, isn't it? Before I thought he was alone and didn't have any help. Uh, I feel though his dockets are still like jam packed full and his calendar goes out for like ever. If you need something in front of him, you're gonna wait. Um, do you know by any chance, and it's okay if you don't, who is the new judge? What is her name? Ha 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 ha. See what I did there? Or his name? Or is there more than one? Yeah, no onions on mine either. Mm. Oh, maybe they do. Maybe I just have to find them. I'm going to try to find them because I want to get the follow up. Like we know this guy's going to go through it to the other judge. Maybe I want to find it. I want to find that. I think just because they're not on YouTube doesn't mean they don't actually stream. Oh, Lori, you are just the smarticle particle. Fozzie, she's right. She's right. Extreme members should get emojis. You have to show me how to do it. That way you don't have to do all the work. Judge Nash. It's such a good idea. And Judge Josh Turnbow. Okay, next question, since you guys knew that. Which courtroom again was the support llama? Or pony? Oh no. Which courtroom was the support pony? It was juvenile court. Never mind. I'm going to show it tomorrow. Now that I remember which courtroom it is. I was racking my brains trying to remember, and now I remember while I asked you. Okay. Which is good because now I don't have to find content for tomorrow. I just have to play that and Judge Fleischer, and I can just sit here. I can sleep all day if I want to. Yes. Now, if I don't put a video out, if I don't put another Kelly video out soon, people are gonna nothing. They're gonna nothing, but it's still rude that I don't have another Kelly video yet. We're at day 12, I think, which is the big day. I think it's when George gets on the stand. That's lovely. Isn't that okay? This might be stupid, but isn't that like good luck? Or is that just camels? If you get sneezed on by some animal, that's good luck. Or that's just something these people say to tourists to make them feel better, and we're just all stupid because we believe it. Well, we are stupid if we believe that. But anyway, okay. Now we're going to Kentucky. I'm sorry if you guys have already seen these. You might have. But they're good. They were just so good. This guy is obnoxious and rude, and oh man, he gets nailed for it. There's a couple clips together in one. I can't remember if it's 2 or 5. I don't remember. I just know there's more than one. One of them's sort of like a Sav sit-ish, kind of, not really. Like you're gonna think he's a Sav sit, but then he's just not. I don't know. Where? What did I miss? In where? We're talking about llamas.
23C or 1672,
Oh,
Gilbert
Judge
Ballard.
Wolf.
Is that you?
Gotcha.
You speak. You have to
Yes,
speak, sir.
sir.
Okay, good.
I want to make sure that, for the record, when you say is that are you talking about a fictitious entity or are you talking about me?
As a human being,
Sweet dreams.
you know, like we all are in this room. Okay?
Sure.
Are you okay?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. So you're going to represent yourself? Is that what you want to do?
Well, I'm not one to represent myself because I know that it's
Hi, Shelley.
pretty much just shoot myself in the
Yeah,
head.
yeah, it's true. You know, there's rules you don't know.
Correct. And I actually put in for a bill of particulars for the prosecutor to answer in order for me to, try to proceed. But I hadn't got an answer back from the prosecutor pertaining to my bill of particulars.
Okay. You know, you're mixing up a lot of civil law with criminal law. Bill of particulars really aren't used literally in any practice. You have the indictment.
I thought he was Kentucky. Is he Texas? Am I just in the wrong state completely? I got this for Terry. Terry from Kentucky.
And there are other ways of getting more information, but the bill of particulars would only give you more information than, and I don't know what other information.
Well,
this is me speak, you speak. Me speak, you speak.
Who's the judge from Kentucky? Anybody? There's only like one courtroom that we ever get from Kentucky. And it's a really good judge, and we all know him. All of us know him. Who is he? I can't remember now. I thought it was Stevens.
She can't take two people speaking in a second. Bill of particulars is probably not the wisest effort to make because you're not going to get relief in a criminal court for a bill of particulars, but there may be some other matters of ways. But that's what happens when you don't have a lawyer. Are you able to afford a lawyer?
Well, that was an issue at one point. My family's been helping me doing all.
Do you have an income yourself?
Registered nurse by trade, but with this charge on it's been difficult to find any type of,
Okay.
So that's been the caveat at this point.
Well, I'm just asking you, income right now, you have zero income?
Well, pretty much I have some income because I've been living off my life savings at this point.
Okay. Well, what's that left? What do you have left there? How much?
2,000,
Look, what we're going to do is give him one of those indigent fees. Fill that out. And right now in your income, the way it is, we may be able just to appoint you a lawyer.
That's
to help you.
Yeah, I understand. An appointed lawyer, they have so many cases going.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is. But look, I had a lot of cases when I was a lawyer, and we do. They know more about this than you do.
Correct.
And you are at a great disadvantage if you come in here without legal assistance.
Correct.
That's it. But you're grown up, just like me. You get to make your own choice.
I definitely can't get in order. I can't.
You don't make a bad choice. That's going to hurt your life.
I'm tired. I'm tired of making my own choices. I'm tired of this. Can't someone else just make my choices for me?
Life forever. You're worried about being a nurse. I can guarantee you a conviction in a trial, you don't get deferred probation. You get convicted, and convictions pretty much are forever. A felony conviction follows you around the rest of your life.
That sounds like a disaster, doesn't it? He's a judge. She's a superintendent. Both of them are used to being, boss. Both of them. How do they live together?
Why don't you fill one of those things out that you're going to get, and then let me look at it, and then we can get somebody maybe appointed to represent you, to help you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Have a fighting chance, because you won't if you don't know the rules, because you're held to knowing the rules.
Right.
And I'm not going to be able to help you. You can't ask me, what should I do, Judge? I can't tell you.
And I'll try. And I truly respect you guys' profession because it is difficult trying to learn the law, even though I feel like we should learn that in school, but but it is what it is.
Well, look, if you told me to take somebody's blood pressure, I'd have a hard time figuring out how to do that. I mean, it's just.
Me too. I just keep squeezing it. Because that's what they do to me. They squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it.
Just whoever, what you train, what you've done and you're used to and you're trained for. You're not trained for
war
practicing law in here.
Correct. Now,
all right, just fill that out. Let me get back with me here a little bit.
That's right.
What are we going to do? Let's say I'm going to reset Mr. Bullard. If the others, we don't have anything, so there's not a case we could send to Judge Wortham or Judge Templeton. Is that right, Ellie? So come on up, Mr. Bullard.
That's just wrong. It should always work.
On this income thing, your income is VA and other income odd jobs, correct? Right now?
Yes,
So $675, right? You have other assets, car, house, but those assets, if you sold those, you wouldn't be able to live or go anywhere, right? You'd be walking around as a street person, correct? Is that right?
Give him
Taking my blood pressure is really easy. Am I near my children? Yes. Is my blood pressure high? Yes. Am I away from my children? Yes. Is my blood pressure low? Yes. I love not being married though.
Okay, you're get an attorney appointed to represent you, okay? And on Mr. Bullard, we're going to appoint one of the public defenders on his case. Okay.
We did how to fill out a check
No, the public defender.
in school, but that's about it.
Hey, Langston.
yes, sir.
You able to
That's because he knows your boss is so mean.
represent him? As a public defender?
Don't mind. If he wants, the thing is that when I was on the case, he filed the motion saying he wanted to represent himself as himself, and I said, okay, but whatever. I'm fine.
I think he's changed his mind on that. He's talking. I think after understanding realities of what happens in representing yourself, I think he's changed his mind.
That's fine. I'm good. We good. We get together and talk.
Okay. All right.
No problem.
Who's the attorney on that one?
It's Sarah.
Sarah, Miss Shaw is the attorney. Okay, and it will be reset at another time for y'all to be ready. Okay, get a resetting. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Yeah.
So he sort of started.
06 is
He sort of started off pro se, and then just died, and then it's just the pro se in him just died, and then he got a lawyer.
now called the state of Texas versus Marcus Keith Johnson. You are Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Present with Mr. Grove, your attorney and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive
Okay, that's
a formal reading
amazing.
of this indictment and arraignment here. Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, well, initially we had a motion to revoke hearing on his stalking case, which was F21 36543. He was sentenced to adjudicated probation was revoked, and he was sentenced to 8 years TDC. He's pleading to 8 years TDC in this case as well. It was a new offense. I would just note that there's also $309.60 in restitution to Speedy Stop number 14 in Beaumont. That was cigarettes that he had stolen there from the Speedy Stop.
What about that?
What about the rest of it? To my knowledge, Judge.
I don't take the deal. We'll sit it out until we can get the trial. If he didn't pay it back when you steal, you pay it back. That's how you purge the sin there, as it were. Why would I think it that people go, hey, they stole from us? They made a deal, you took a deal, and we didn't get our money back. What's fair about that? And my response to them is, you're right, that's not fair. So I'm not going to do that. You paid back or not? You don't pay it back, we'll just set it for trial. Okay. That's what we'll do.
Well, he's been in custody for some time, Judge. I will see if we can get a resetting on this. Let me see about the restitution of $309.
Sorry.
I could have a couple of weeks.
Okay, you got 2 weeks. We'll review it in 2 months. Next is, in summary, this motion alleges that on September 17th, 2018, this criminal district court, you were sentenced to 10 years in prison. That was suspended. You were placed on regular probation for 10 years for evading arrest and detention with a motor vehicle, a third-degree felony. Is all of that true, sir?
Yes, sir.
Allegation 1 states that you
Your audio's fine. He's thinking. Let him think. He gets good here. He gets really good. We're all going to feel bad about all of our life choices in a second. And we're going to be feared for our lives.
probation order condition number 14 of your probation order you signed here, dated September 17th of 2018. Number 14 states, among other things, that you shall be courteous and professional at all times, especially with interacting with court officers and probation officers and staff. Are you clearly familiar with that?
So,
allegation number 1 states in a telephone conversation with the probation officer, with Ms. LeBlanc, who is one of the most professional and courteous people I know, and I've been around a long time, that you failed to conduct yourself in a professional and courteous manner, especially with her, in your vulgar statements. You can take your probation and tie a pretty little bow around it and shove it up. You know what you said.
You know what you said.
I've already reported you to federal authorities about F-word up my extraditions. Did you really say that?
I may have. She called my father several times.
You're not calling her a liar, are you? She says that's what you
No, I'm
said.
not calling her a liar, but I'm just saying that.
What have you lost your memory?
No.
You either said that. Do you use this type of vulgar language? When I speak, you stop. You use this kind of vulgar language in a regular way, do you? You can't even remember? Or is this is this a unique situation? Do you do this all the time, or was this an extraordinary event?
Do you want the explanation?
I just asked you a question, yes or no. Do you do this normally, or is this an extraordinary event?
It's an extraordinary event.
You should remember it. Do you remember it or not?
Yes, I do.
You said that to her.
Yes.
Do you understand what the probation office does? Do you even know what they do? They try to help you be successful on probation. Were you here when I was talking about the 85% success rate we have?
Yes, I heard.
Which is twice the rate of the national average, which is 70%. We're at 85. I mean, they are a dedicated group of professionals. I'm honored to be working with them. I've worked with them for almost 18 years. I worked with federal probation officers for 20 years, and they were great. These are no less capable. You would be that rude to this lady who's dedicated to your success. That's what's ironic.
Hi, Terry.
Oh, is this allegation true or not? Are you pleading true voluntarily and because it is true?
Yes, I am.
You understand by knowing and voluntary plea of true to one or more allegations of probation, that's enough to grant this motion to revoke probation. Your probation can be revoked. You can now be sentenced to no less than 2, no more than 10 years confinement in prison.
Yes, sir.
Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true today? I find you pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true.
Yes, I do.
Is there agreement on this?
Yes, sir.
When was
5
that?
years TDC.
When was that done? I don't have it on this.
Well, that was on the plea papers that are in the computer.
Okay, well, okay, it's still working. Let me see the percentage rate.
I'll have it good. She has.
So now there's 3 Terrys.
Thank you.
If there's a pea under the mattress, no matter how many mattresses you stack on top of it, a princess will not be able to sleep because there'll be a bump and it'll be too uncomfortable. Seriously though, you're right. Okay. Metal's right. Call 911 for coffee and we get more videos to watch. It's a win-win. So I think about this often. Too often, I think. All these people in chat, all these people who watch my videos, none of y'all have like family members or exes or somebody in your like hometown that's about to go on trial that you want me to get and show here? I mean, tell me about it because I will get them and I will put them on here, especially if there's an ex. And if there's an ex that you know is about to go into trial and I can get it, we will all roast them with you and it'll be great. Great. You and me both. Me too. One is with an E and one is with an A. Who else knew Micah was going to jump on that? And he did. Micah, we love you. So, Terry, here's what happened. I got confused, okay? I wanted to get Kentucky for you. So I went into Judge Stevens' courtroom and I started recording. And then once I played it here, you see this big flag? I got the wrong judge. So I don't have Kentucky for you today, but I tried. I just got the wrong judge. But now we get to watch Judge Stevens because of you, Terry. Hi, Terry. And there's 3 Terrys in chat right now, so I just confused everybody. They're all looking around.
Looks like, as far as I know, you have just this one felony conviction in this court that you're on probation for. Would that be right?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, since that PSI, he has had convictions out of the state of Georgia. Based on the first motion to revoke, those were the allegations alleged in.
I was going to get through the misdemeanors.
Let me tell you something, Donald. I thought, okay, Fozzie went to bed. That means I can order coffee on my phone and no one will make a comment of it. And oh my God, I was wrong. You and your brother, man.
Here because it covers about 3 pages.
Yes, sir. He also has another, I believe, state jail felony out of Chambers County that occurred after he was released from Jefferson County or something like that.
I was arrested for all this. When I got put on probation here, I still had warrants out of Georgia, so I had to go back to Georgia. All of it. I haven't been arrested since 2018 for anything whatsoever.
But your Chambers County case occurred before this.
No, same day.
Okay.
I got arrested.
That's how I got my last kid.
Left from here, got my probation, left from here, went to Chambers County, transferred there, went to prison there, left from prison there, transferred there, went to prison in Georgia. And I ain't been arrested since then. Probation was supposed to have been transferred from here to Fulton County.
Went to prison in Georgia for what? For the possession of methamphetamine?
No, it's prior to that, it's stuff I've taken.
I don't see any prison sentences here.
Your Honor, those occurred after his date of probation here in Texas. Yes, sir.
Why are they in the motion to revoke probation?
They're in the motion to revoke that was previously disposed of in October of 23.
Committed the offense of fleeing or attempting to elude out of Carroll County, Georgia. Committed the offense of fleeing. So elude. Those are two offenses on two separate days. Looks like one July 9th, the other July 10th of 19.
I believe those are the first amended motion to revoke community supervision that was filed on 8/2.
How many misdemeanor convictions do you have, sir?
Excuse me, sir.
How many misdemeanor convictions do you have?
I have no idea, sir. Probably 10.
14.
14.
How come I know more about your life than you do?
Because you're a good judge. Twitchy just sent me a long list of Washington courts that I can find, just all in Snohomish County. Yay! Thank you.
Are we talking about driving while under the influence, theft by shoplifting, simple battery, family violence, disorderly conduct, and child abuse, driving under influence, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, driving under influence of alcohol, driving under influence of alcohol, driving without a valid license, disorderly conduct, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, evading arrest or detention. Among other things.
Oh yes, Kelly. Oh yes, they should. Can you commit a crime so we can get you on camera?
So we're trying to, this was 5 years. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
After all of this criminal history, and then the obnoxious insults to this lady, I'm supposed to cut you a break? You're looking at 10 years in prison. She deserved better than that. All of them did. From you.
Always ask for damage.
Oh, that takes it back. I'm sure she feels much better for all the time that this happened. Let's see. This happened when? On January 10th, 10 months ago. You're apologizing now? I'm not taking this deal. No way. You don't treat people who work for me like that and serve the county. You know. We'll just have a hearing and let it rise.
Can we still look now?
I'm not making a deal with you.
I got you. Don't worry.
You're rude. Obnoxious. Can't see. If you treat someone who's really their commitment in life is to help you, if you would treat them that way, what would you do to someone else? Shame on you. Set this for a hearing. We'll decide where I go, but I'm not accepting a deal of 5 years. Not for your obnoxious, rude, selfish attitude. That hurts people. You don't seem to care. But I'm going to ensure that justice is served. Thank you. We'll set this for a hearing. Okay, I've got jail.
Guy's going to jail for years and years and years because he said that to her. Words hurt, guys. Words hurt. Okay. We did it. Now we're going to Fleischer. We actually did a lot. We did a lot of clips today, so we won't have as much Fleischer as normal. But his stream is up. You guys can go watch his stream. You should open chat when you do, though. It's you don't get to see all of chat like you do during the day because we delete a lot of it, but you get to see enough. Look at his striped tie. I love it. I love it with that jacket. He looks very professional. But it also, even though it's black, reminds me of that bubble gum with the zebra that only tastes good for like 2 straight seconds. I'll bond you out. I will bond you out. I will drive there, which is far away. I will fly there, Washington. Okay, so I will fly there. I will visit Forks for a second, and then I'll come in and bond you out. I have to visit Forks though if I'm in Washington. Yes, new haircut. New haircut. Look at this though. Doesn't that look like really full today? I should press play so we can get through some of it. Just come here and say, let's roll. To something. I want to end up. I don't want to go to court.
We can do that. We can say that.
Right now, he should be talking to us. He's probably saying, "Where's Kathy?" I was there today. I was only like what 10 minutes late, right? 7 minutes late, I think. And if you're in Judge Fleischer's chat and I don't say hi, it's because there's too many people. So now I just say hi, guys. Hi. Kelly, do you have a court case coming up? Be honest. I'm going to start researching you. Can I have your social security number to make it easier? You and me both. Jeez. Oh, my coffee's not here yet. Say let's roll, nerds. Come on, Judge. You're wasting daylight. Okay, I shouldn't say this. I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. For the record, even you can ask Judge Fleischer himself about this. He started streaming again because he chose to. Not because of any other reason that you might have heard. He chose to. He streams. He chooses not to stream. He doesn't stream. He's not a freaking puppet. There.
Vic, you ready? Alex, ready? Let's roll, nerds.
13. Duarte, come on up.
Oh my gosh,
13 already?
Victoria started with page 13. That's Michael's favorite when she says that. She's so nice to her husband. You know that?
Roberto Duarte.
Except for me, because
Is
I'm not
Stephen
married.
flying solo today?
Give me a city
Roberto
or a
Duarte.
county if you
Mr.
feel
Duarte, you're charged
comfortable.
with terroristic
I'll
threat of a
find it.
family or a household member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to a family disturbance. The complainant told officers that her and the defendant, her spouse, began arguing after she followed another man on Instagram. The complainant stated she felt scared and tried to call her mom, but the defendant took her phone and refused to return it while stating that he was going to beat her ass. The defendant repeatedly told the complainant that.
All right, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do if I start dating again. I'm going to start dating, then follow a whole bunch of men on Instagram and leave my phone out. And then if I get hit, then I know that this guy's not worth it. See, that's smart thinking.
This and the complainant believed the defendant would actually assault her. The complainant's mother was on the phone during the altercation and heard the defendant's threats. The defendant admitted to officers that he threatened the complainant.
Mr. Duarte, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. How old are you, sir?
20.
What do you do for a living?
Construction. My wife.
So this is Neve and Garcia. Is that your wife?
Yes, sir.
Are y'all actually married or just living together or common law?
Actually married.
Okay. Do we know whether she wants to have contact with him?
Yes, Your Honor. RIP was completed and she says that she would like to have contact with him.
Okay. Mr. Duarte, I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any threatening or harassing contact with this person. Understand what is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what you think. It is what she perceives. So if you go like this, it is most certainly threatening and harassing. And I'm going to tell you now, I will do everything in my power to protect every person of Harris County. If I have to put you in jail, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You got out of jail because we gave you a free bond. You're not going to get another one. You pick up a new case, violate conditions, I will revoke your PR bond, set it at 5 to 10,000. If you don't have anyone to pony up that kind of money, you'll be sucked like Chuck. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
No. How much money do you make a month?
Like 2,400.
Okay. Who else do you live with besides your wife?
We just had a son, a newborn.
Does she work as well?
Well, she used to work, and we should go half, but now
Because the baby, she's not working.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You want to apply for an appointed lawyer?
For what?
Court-appointed lawyer. Do you want to apply for one?
Sure.
The other option is you can go hire one. So you tell me what do you want to do? You need a lawyer. You're facing a year in jail, a lot of time. So
Yes, sir.
you want to apply for one? All right. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to we're going to give you an application for an appointed lawyer. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria, and then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions that you're not to have threatening, harassing contact. You also need to understand that there is a protective order that has been issued in this case. I'm going to give you a copy of this. One of the things is you cannot threaten or harass. Don't do it. If you are someone that constantly fights with this person, be very careful, because the next thing you threaten her, they can file additional charges against you, violation of the protective order, and then it really will go sideways. Do you understand? Can you file no threatening, harassing, no weapons, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'll have you come up. We'll give you the application. I'll have you sign the receipt, and then I'll have you take your seat in the jury box, please.
Hodges, Clayton, page 19.
You said page 19?
Yes.
Clayton Hodges. Mr. Hodges, you're charged with failure to give information upon striking a highway fixture. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 5th, 2024, officers responded to a criminal mischief call at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officers made contact with the complainant. The complainant stated he woke up, realized his tree had been ran into, checked his surveillance, and observed the defendant's motor vehicle collide into a tree traveling at a high rate of speed. The defendant appeared to get out of the motor vehicle, walk in front of the motor vehicle, and then proceed to get back inside the motor vehicle. The officer observed tire mark damage in the landscape leading up to the tree, damage to bricks around the tree, and damage to the tree itself. Damage was approximately $200 for the brick and grass and $2,500 for the tree.
Tell me, What time of day or night was this? Is this in the middle of the night? Do we know that alcohol or any kind of drugs or anything played a factor in this?
Your Honor, this took place at approximately 2 in the morning. And one moment I can see if there's any alcohol involved.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I don't see any, Your Honor.
let me ask you this. What kind of priors?
Your Honor, he has previous, well, actually, I believe he still has open cases in Galveston at 2024 with unknown dispositions, a DWI, collision causing damage to a motor vehicle, and a UCW out of Galveston.
Just 3 open cases in Galveston?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Haddad, did you see this? We're talking about Mr. Hodges here.
Mr. Hodges, Judge, for me, Chair.
He has an open DWI, UCW, and perhaps something else. Also, Alex, if you can run the license as well.
Yeah, okay.
Coffee, always coffee.
Yeah, Judge, I do see that, yeah, this is.
Court vibes happens after midnight.
Yeah, just checking the TCIC, it looks like there are 3 pending cases open.
The third one besides DWI, UCW, what was the other one?
Collision
It's Texas. Everybody drives a truck.
involving damage to a vehicle, approximately $200.
I'm taking off.
It looks like it is their Galveston's version of an FSGI. It's just called.
Now we have another one.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Hodges, I take public safety extremely serious. And if I find that you become a danger to my public here in Harris County, I'm telling you now, I'm going to light you up. Do you understand? I am taking away your privilege to drive. And you will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me that you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand? I am also giving you a curfew so that you are not out in the middle of the night. The other thing is this, is that you have 3 open cases in Galveston. It's only a matter of time before they learn about them. And when they do, they're going to revoke all of those bonds and issue 3 warrants for your arrest. So, as it stands now, do not drive. And I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm going to test you like crazy. If I find that you're using, I'm going to revoke your bond, deem you a public danger, and I'm going to make your bond so high that your head will just combust. Do you understand?
Higher than the Empire State.
GPS monitor, curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Waive the fee, no drugs, no alcohol, random urinalysis, and no driving. What do you do for a living, Mr. Hodges?
I'm an electrician.
We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. Heed this warning. If you drove here, you may not drive home. And the worst possible thing you can do at this time is get into a car and drive, because if you do, you're going to stay with me for quite a while. Do you understand?
Sure.
I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. You will get to Victoria, sign a reset, then you'll get with pretrial, and then we'll see you later. When you come back, have a lawyer, Mr. Hodges. Don't be a danger to my public. Do you understand?
Sure.
You don't understand this airport, though. Okay, so Level 4 had different colors, and then in each color there was numbers, and then within those numbers there were letters. So you had to know which color you were in, and then which number series you were in, and then which letter series you were in after that. And it got worse because so there's level 4 in this building, and then there's level 4 over in another building, and then there's level 4 over in another building. Those were the 3 colors. So it was you couldn't just like go from one to the other to the other. Like to get to the middle one, you had to sort of like find you know, the helix thing. You have to drive down and then go down one and then over one to get up to the other. And then to get to the other, you had to go back to this one to get to this one. It's not like you could just go row by row. You couldn't go row by row because it was in different buildings, and getting there was over this bridge and then down this way, and then there was construction, and then some of the pillars with the numbers on it were round and some were square, which helped because Donald knew that his was round, but it didn't help because it was like a freaking, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know how anybody ever finds anything in that car lot ever. I I would still be there if I was driving. I would still be there looking for my car. Seriously, it's ridiculous.
Page 26. Alex, the last name is you name Buddy, come on up. Bottom of 26.
Thanks. Is it Karakra? That's right. You are charged with obstruction of a highway or a passageway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 13th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a stranded motor vehicle on the 1400 block of West St. Houston Parkway in Harris County, Texas. The officer was advised the motor vehicle was missing the left rear tire, and the officer made contact with the driver. The driver stated the private record was en route, and around the same time, another motor vehicle reported being struck by a single tire coming from the opposite direction of traffic. The defendant, a private wrecker, arrived and blocked the moving roadway. Officer made contact with the defendant. The officer made the defendant aware of the situation, and the defendant neglected to hear what the officer had to say, and the officer gave an order to the defendant to move from the moving lane of traffic as the stranded motor vehicle was part of the investigation, to which the defendant refused. The defendant kept trying to make contact with the driver of the motor vehicle being towed, despite the officer's actions and orders to leave the scene.
So he's trying to help.
Yes, he reported there to tow the vehicle, but he was blocking the moving lane of traffic, and officers told him to move, and he would not.
Does it say how long he was there?
Your Honor, let me see in the DMs if it says. It does not give a time frame for how long he was there. All it says is that the motor vehicle he attempted to tow was part of an investigation, which is why officers told him to clear the scene so that way they could investigate the damage to the motor vehicle. It was part of a new investigation.
All right. Sir, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm not putting any conditions on your bond. Just be careful. Don't pick up any new cases. That's all we're asking to do. When you get into into an argument or a fight with an officer, who's going to win? Officer. Right. Just be careful. You gotta know these things, you know? Pick and choose your audience. No, you don't have, just be careful. You know, some battles you're just not gonna win, right? I see that you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but just stay in touch with Mr. Muharib and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. We'll just have you sign a reset and then you're welcome to wait for him back, okay? All right, sir, please.
You're on.
They did it. Wilson?
Wow, they did it.
They also prepare before you put it, before you submit it. That's when.
John, really, they put Wiggins into a ag sec. They did it.
I didn't
Wow.
have to call them. When I called them, we did it that day.
Wow.
So the way they all they did was wait for that order.
This is Wilson on page 37.
Okay. Good morning, Miss Wilson.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, yes. On October 14th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a major crash call at 300 West Loop in Harris County, Texas, after the defendant's motor vehicle crashed into a tree. Upon arrival, the officers observed the defendant outside her motor vehicle and observed the defendant with a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, bloodshot eyes, and swaying while speaking. The defendant admitted to drinking and advised she was driving. The defendant also stated she knew she was intoxicated and that she shouldn't have been operating a motor vehicle. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 4 out of 4. The DIC was red and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.132 and 0.137.
Okay. All right, Ms. Wilson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
I have one in Arkansas. Yes, but it's valid.
License, please.
Your Honor, we don't have a driver's license on file in our system.
Okay. Do you live in Houston now?
Yes.
How long have you lived in Houston?
3.5 months.
You planning on staying?
Yes.
Okay, it's time that you surrender that license. You have to get a Texas driver license.
Okay.
How old are you, man?
I'm 21.
What do you do for a living?
I do Uber Eats and I do hair. Like I'm a self-employed, so I do a lot of things on my own, like hair and stuff like that. It's social media influencer.
You have liability insurance in your name.
Insurance?
Car insurance in your name.
Yeah. Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I have. Yes, I do.
How?
I have insurance with Amex
Who pays for it?
and my sister together.
Are you sure?
Yes, I was under my mom at first,
Okay,
but
well, I don't want you to drive unless you 100% know that you have car insurance. I want you to look it up.
yes, I do.
Okay, I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using any kind of alcohol or illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. You understand? No more alcohol, no more illegal drugs. That includes marijuana. Don't smoke. Otherwise, I will put you in jail. You understand?
Yes.
Did you want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, man? Okay. Steven's going to give you an application. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria. Eventually, you'll push out for your bond conditions, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Okay? Please.
Judge, that's the last arraignment for now.
You want to start on THAs? Hey.
Can I go quickly on?
Of course.
How are you, Judge?
Hey, good morning. Happy Monday.
Good morning. Catalan Rivas on your docket this morning. He was going to accept a time-served plea offer. However, when we were going over the plea paperwork, he decided because of the immigration consequences.
But they were supposed to do that last time.
Well, he accepted bond forfeiture today because he wasn't present at the last court. So he's here today.
We were supposed to do the plea the last time, and then he was gone to work. So we
Right.
did it for today.
Right. So now going over all the consequences, now he wants to see if we can apply, he can have some time to apply for the DWP chat program.
What? It's 212 days old. No.
It's a
no.
point, it's a 0.11. The only thing holding him back from automatic acceptance is there was a minor accident. So I know Vito pretty well. I know accept them into the program.
I understand, Victor, but this should have done it 180 days. No,
I understand. Will you give me a week just to get the packet together so I
it has
can?
until Thursday.
Okay,
If he doesn't have it done by Thursday, it's a clear trial, and I'm gonna give him, I'm not gonna take anything else. It's unacceptable at 200 and, no. He has until Thursday to get the packet together. If he has it done, we'll send it for TRAS on that day.
fair enough.
You know, I'm not giving you any more time after that.
Okay.
That's it.
Appearance required on Thursday for him?
Yes,
Okay.
no more waived appearances, no.
Well, no, he's here today. So I'll be appearing via Zoom, though, if that's okay with you.
Of course.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
He doesn't have it done. He's pleading on that day, or we're setting it for trial.
Fair enough.
I'm not gonna take anything else.
Fair enough.
That's it. I'm not gonna play games.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I was looking for main courthouses and I got distracted. Sorry.
Come on up.
I don't see it.
This is page 12. Council for reset.
Good morning, Mr. Drew.
Yes, sir.
You have a lawyer today?
I'm very close to being able to pay for one.
One more time?
Yes, sir. I have
I
spoken.
don't want to get into the details.
Yes, sir.
I understand that. Do you have a Texas driver license?
Sir.
Okay, it's probably going to be suspended now because you've not retained an attorney.
Sir, I have a hearing on the 28th with Texas Department.
I would get a lawyer before that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll give you 30 days and good luck, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, Judge, next is page 15, Garza, G.
Mr. Garza, do you have a lawyer today? What are you doing about that?
Sorry?
What are you doing about that?
Just see what I could do to proceed. I mean.
You need a lawyer. You're facing a lot of time in jail.
Can I get one appointed?
What do you do for a living?
I'm a lift technician, automotive lift technician.
Okay, how much money do you make a month?
Thousands.
You don't qualify for a lawyer. You make too much money. You have to be at the poverty guideline to qualify for a lawyer. Who do you live with?
Solo.
Are you married?
Why is there a lifetime? I mean, there's just a small amount of marijuana. I mean, I don't understand why it's a lifetime in jail.
Mr. Garza, it's against the law. You don't live in California. You don't live in Arizona. You don't live in Las Vegas, where it may be legal. This is Texas. And in Texas, unless, limited exceptions, by and large, it's against the law. You just can't. you don't like it, there are other states. But here, in today's and age, with the legislature that we have, marijuana is illegal. If you don't like it, go get a hold of your congressman, go get a hold of your state senator and change the law. That's the way to go about doing it. But sitting here and complaining with us, this is not the right forum. You're facing a lot of time and you need a lawyer to represent you. Have you done any research as to looking into any lawyers?
I have been talking to a lawyer, but I just didn't know how far it would be. So is it possible to have like a extra few days?
Facing 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. So it's quite a bit of time.
Yes, sir. I have a little bit more time so I can get a lawyer.
How many lawyers have you spoken to?
Well, I've only spoken to a few, but nobody's taking anybody right now. So they're all busy. So I keep
I've
calling.
spoken to enough. There's a gajillion and one lawyers in Harris County. It's like going to buy a car. You go to the right dealership to what you can afford. You don't go to a Bugatti, you don't go to a Porsche, you don't go to a Ferrari dealership when you're starting out. You know, Honda, Toyota, whatever it may be. And like when you're buying a car, you haggle with them, like with the same thing with a lawyer. You haggle with the lawyer. 99% of them will put you on a payment plan where you pay a couple $100s a month and they'll represent you. But that's how it goes. You know, unless you meet the poverty guidelines, that is when we appoint lawyers.
Okay.
6 months,
How old are
I
you?
think.
32.
Okay. Who are you married? Do you have kids?
I do, but they're with their baby mother.
Do you pay child support? How much?
They're on the side. We don't go through the court system. I just pay her out.
Okay, well, all right. So what we'll do is we'll give you more
Lying
time.
again.
I'll have you sign a receipt. We'll give you 30 days. If you need to call 30, call 30. That's what it takes.
All right, sweet.
Garza, Jermaine. Judge, this one just had to submit a financial affidavit. So you doesn't have to go with this. Page to the clerk, page 17, Gonzalez, Vanessa, come on up. Page 17.
Morning. No, sir. Sir?
Tell me what you're doing about that.
Well, right now I was forced to get my own apartment, so I'm a little behind with my bills and catching up with my money. So I will have to have some more time to find a lawyer and to be able to afford one.
Tell me why you were forced to get your own apartment. What do you mean by that?
Because I was
Living before?
with my brother in the house, so I was pushed out the house. And then, yeah. 2.
Married?
No, sir.
Support for the children?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll have you fill out an application. I'll take a look, okay? I need to know everything about you. Don't put just zeros on everything because I'm going to send it right back to you. I need to know what money you have coming in, what you pay out, and then we'll take a look, okay? Yes, ma'am, please. Good job, Melissa.
Page 21, list, Marcus. Twenty-one.
Mr. List, do you have a lawyer today? Tell me what you're doing about that.
I just need a little bit more time to come up with the money.
Okay, we'll give you more time.
Appreciate it.
Mr. List, are you driving at this time?
No.
Okay, there's an affidavit,
Security.
don't drive.
I would never call you rude.
I know it's tempting, don't do it. You're gonna be doing a lot of time in jail. You understand? So, okay, please.
Page 23, Matthews, come on up.
You got your car back? It wasn't damaged and totaled or
it's in there.
anything?
Here, I can do it.
Hi, Ramona.
Matthews is right behind that closet.
Hey, BI.
I don't know why he said we're going to do that. Right there, yeah.
These bond violations.
So he's,
So, oh, hold on a second. Let me see. Let me make sure. Give me a second.
I was trying to see it. Futile life? I don't know. I don't know what it says.
It's because the
My
case is,
brother-in-law stole my car once. I didn't know it was him, of course, but my brother-in-law stole my car once, a while ago. This was many years ago. And they found it a year later in the next town, and it was riddled with bullet holes. It was my little Chevette.
a year and a half old, and he's taken off 1, 2,
so.
3, at least
Full
3.
hustle life.
He's-
Jen, you're smart.
Yeah, tell him that he can stay outside.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's supposed to be here, and he's supposed to have. We gave him. From 10, 11, we gave him 1 week to get everything done, which was. So, yeah, he needs to.
Okay.
He needs to, yeah.
Come on.
Just make sure he's masked and stay, and then we gotta let Josh know.
Okay.
Mr. Matthews, do you have a lawyer today? What are you doing about that? No. Have you spoken to anyone? How many did you call? Okay.
They were right around like $2,000 or something like that.
You may need to contact more. 5's just not enough. I have people that, call 10, 20, maybe 25, There's someone out there for you. Just need to put a little bit more legwork into it,
Yeah, I can. I can't work right now. So.
Why are you not working?
And that's how we made some modifications to, you took my driver's license. I drive for a living.
You're going 120 something miles or I don't remember, I have, 2,500 cases. I can't remember every single case, but there's a reason why we do what we do, right? But so how else are you sustaining yourself now?
I think everybody
I'm not
had
going
a
to talk
Chevette.
about the case. How else are you supporting yourself?
I'm living on my savings right now. It's almost gone.
Okay, how much do you have there? Well, let's do this. I'll have you fill out an application. I don't want you to say it out loud now. but I need to know everything about you. If you're gonna. Did what?
I filled one out last time we were here.
I don't have it. Fill one out for me and I'll take a look and I'll see whether you qualify, but I need to know everything about you, how much money you have at the bank, how much, what you pay out, what you got coming in, how many cars you have, and then we'll take a look to see if you qualify.
Judge, we have an arraignment that I skipped over
Okay,
on page 23. Mendoza, come on up.
hi. Let me just do this arraignment and then I'll. This is Luis Mendoza?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Luis Mendoza. Mr. Mendoza, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 13th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a major crash at 7800 North Freeway in Harris County, Texas. The witness stated it seemed the defendant and the second witness were involved in a road rage incident. The first witness felt witness two's motor vehicle hit him and observed the defendant exit the driver's side of his motor vehicle and walk towards the first witness's motor vehicle in an aggressive manner. The first witness observed slurred speech, stumbling, a slouched posture, and the officer made contact with the defendant. The officer observed bloodshot, glossy eyes, strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN was 6 out of 6, walk and turn 7 out of 8, and one leg stand 1 out of 4. The defendant admitted to drinking that night, and the defendant was read the DIC and consented to breath. The results were 0.045 and 0.046. The defendant stated he did not eat anything and consumed 2 24-ounce Smirnoff Ice and admitted to driving.
So you're saying he wasn't the one at fault, though? It was the other person that was at fault?
Your Honor, the way the DIMS reads is that there was 3 vehicles involved and it doesn't, let me read the DIMS just to be sure, Your Honor. Your Honor, the DIMS does say that the second witness stated that the defendant came around on his left side and hit him. So it seems he hit the second witness, causing chain reaction.
Probable cause to go forward with the case.
Quiet.
You have a valid Texas driver license? Do you have liability insurance in your name? Then you're not allowed to drive. No driving until you have insurance in your name. Do you understand? I'm also urging you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you consume alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. You understand? How old are you, sir? What do you do for a living? Good, great. Did you graduate from high school? We're going to work on that now. I'll appoint your lawyer today, and I want you to start working on getting your GED. You can't go through life without, at a minimum, getting a GED. You're going to make pennies on the dollar to everybody else. I'm serious. And so what I'm going to do, I'll give you a lawyer today, and I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I'm making it a condition of your bond that you start working on your GED. You have to get your GED. Do you understand? I'm going to set you off 2 weeks, and I'm going to bring you back. If you've done nothing to show me what you're doing about getting your GED, it's not going to go well between us. Do you understand? So I'm going to have you come up here, square touch if you're not going to drive. I'm going to get you the Victoria sign a reset, and then eventually you get with pre-trial for your bond conditions, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. All right. Do not leave until we have you talk to a lawyer. Okay. Can I talk to? Oh, it's all right.
This way, sir.
Page 33, Judge. Okay, go ahead and have a seat in the jury box.
Where did you think that you were coming today? To the beach? Why are you in shorts? It's a
I
complete
love Pinto.
sign of disrespect.
Pujo loves
I'm gonna let it
Pintos.
pass today, but if you come here again in shorts, I'm gonna put you out and we'll set you off for the next day and we'll make you come back the next day.
I
Do
apologize.
you understand?
Sir, I apologize.
There's no, this is not your first case. You know better.
I apologize. Sir.
Mr. Surges, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're
They're
facing up to
expensive,
6 months in
though.
jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 13, 2024, officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas. The caller observed the defendant arrive at the location and pace back and forth around the car before proceeding to enter the vehicle and turn the lights on as if he were attempting to get the motor vehicle turned on. Upon arrival, the officers observed the defendant sitting inside the motor vehicle that was parked on the driveway in front of the residence, and the defendant claimed the vehicle belonged to his girlfriend, but when asked to provide his girlfriend's name, could not provide any information. The complainant, the owner of the motor vehicle, advised she did not give the defendant permission to enter his vehicle and wishes to pursue charges.
So it's criminal trespass of a car.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Surges, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person or the complaining witness. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Why are you looking at me with bewilderment?
Because I didn't even talk to the people. I was, sir.
If the only thing I'm going to tell you, if that there's a car and it's not yours, don't go into the car. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the case. I'm just telling you what your bond conditions are. Don't go into anyone's car unless it's yours. Do you understand? Okay. What do you do for a living, Mr. Surges?
I work at pay centers. Temporary.
When is the last time you've had a full-time job?
In my life.
What were you doing?
Back in the box.
Why did you stop working?
They didn't have enough hours for me. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you just quit?
No, they didn't have enough hours.
They let you go?
Something like that. They didn't have enough hours for me to work.
Where are you living now?
I'm in a sensitive situation. I understand that, sir.
You need to get a full-time job. I'm
Yes,
making that a condition of your bond.
Yes, sir. I understand that.
I will appoint your lawyer today, Mr. Surges.
Yes, sir.
One of the conditions is no weapons, and you must
Yeah, he does
get
have an
a
attitude.
full-time job.
Okay, yes, sir.
You understand? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Go to Amazon, go to Starbucks, they're always hiring. And they make, you start out at 15 to 17 bucks an hour.
That's fine.
Do it.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
bringing you back in 2 weeks and I want to see what you have done to get a job. If you come back and show me that you've done nothing, life's not going to go well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. We'll have you fill out an application for an appointed lawyer. I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, I'll issue a warrant.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Have a blessed day.
That was it. Judge.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
This is on Travion Rogers show. Mr. Rogers is in fact, he took a blood test about 3 weeks ago. He was negative, And he's been on electronic monitor for 6 months. That's for the court.
Violation?
No.
Did Rogers not have bond violations? Top of page 30.
He did, Judge, with this one, he gave counsel 2 weeks to consider offer.
Where are we going, Mr. Locke?
Second for trial.
Okay. Just pick a date with Ramona. Doesn't matter, whatever November you want.
This is electronic monitoring system.
I gotta see what the violation was, because I'm not. You want me to take the monitor off? Is that what you want?
He's been on for 6 months. No violations that I know of.
But I think that there was. I think that there was. I have to look into it. Let me see. Guys, can you look into Tavion Rogers, see how he's been on the vice? Please. Let me look into it. If he's been doing well, then I'll take it off. Okay.
And Judge, on the November trial settings, on the 19th, we have 14, I'm sorry, trial set that day.
Say it again.
And on the 3rd, we have 3. So we'll have to go into December, if that's okay.
Yeah. How's your December looking?
It's December 3rd or the 10th, Judge.
You have to reappoint.
Okay, 10th it is.
I love when the judge listens to her the first time.
Counsel, coming on. Hey.
Yeah, I'm here on Mr. Jonathan Kelly. I spoke with you a couple of weeks ago concerning this matter.
I have to refresh my memory. I don't remember.
Well, it's a deal, I believe, July 1st. And my client.
Oh, is this the one where he's taking all that medication? I remember. Okay, tell me what's going on.
Well, Your Honor, we do have another situation that came up here. My client was diagnosed with neuropathy, and that's one of the conditions that
Rosa, Elderberg, page 30.
Mr. Russell, do you have a lawyer today?
No, sir.
What are you doing about that?
Well, since I just got a job, actually today was my first day, so right now I haven't had the opportunity to have the lawyer, but I will get it on the next court date.
Okay. Do you have some kind of income coming in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we give you more time? You'll be okay? All right, okay. You're gonna head on over to Victoria, we'll have you sign a recess, okay? Please.
This way. Page 31, C-Strong.
Hi, Shannon. Top of the morning to ya.
Good morning, Mr. Seastrong. Do you have a lawyer today? Tell me what you're doing about that.
I have my application and my insurance for the lawyer. For the court appointment.
Good luck at the doctor.
Give it to them, I'll take a look at it. We need you to swear to. Who's next, Vic?
Next, Judge, is page 36. Webb, come on up. Have a seat. Jason.
Good morning, Mr. Webb.
you get a public defender.
I need more hair. I'm not gonna get it.
Got implants now.
Yeah, not gonna do it.
On James.
How the heck do you walk up to a judge who just says hello and say, I need a public defender? What? Rude. Come on.
Mr. Webb, what have you been doing looking for a lawyer?
I was gonna try to get one. We got a family lawyer, but she ain't gonna take the case for me. Elaine Michaels. She's a divorce attorney
showed
though.
them.
She's a family
It's a
friend.
good idea because a jack of all trades is a master of nothing, right? When you get a criminal case, you need a criminal defense lawyer. You don't use a family law lawyer. It's like when you need heart surgery, you don't go to a podiatrist who works on feet, right? Same thing with a lawyer here. What have you done to look for a lawyer?
I was gonna come back here and see if I can get a public defender. Cause I can't afford one right now.
Why?
Just, dang, it's I do AC work and it's cold out. It's the winter time, it's seasonal work.
I mean, it just ended, right? And people still need AC. What kind of income do you make a month? How much money do you make a month?
I mean, right now it's slow. It's been slow. So I own my own business and it's just slow year. So my wife actually owns the business. So I own an AC business and I do the work. She does the office side of it. And it's just been a slower year.
Okay. How much money you make in a month?
I don't know. My wife takes care of it all. I couldn't tell you how much money I make in a month. I mean,
So we'll give you an application and we'll send you home with it. We'll have your wife fill it out and then you can bring it back next time.
Okay.
Okay.
That's going to be a novel, a made up story for the judge to read when he comes back. None of those numbers are going to be correct.
Don't bring it back all zeros because I'm going to send you right back out with it.
Yes, they do. Good night, Maiko.
Mr. Zellers, do you have a lawyer today?
No, but I need some more time.
Okay. Do you work?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Walmart overnight stock.
How much money do you make a month?
24.
Can you afford a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, we'll give you more time. You want to head on over there? If you have any problems, just let us know and we can talk about it, okay?
Mr. Rogers?
All right, we're going to do one more, Mr. Rogers, before we end.
What time?
Is that what they said, Mr. Rogers?
I love it when they come with an attitude as well. You know? I mean,
Yeah, you're right, Judge. You're right. Maybe they didn't say Mr. Rogers. Maybe I'm just making stuff up.
And they were working to try to put him in CPS custody. Now that he's adult, his mother and a family friend that he works for is here. We said Allison Matthews was on this case before. She texted me over the weekend once he got picked up, asking me if I could take over. I don't believe he's competent. Mother is concerned because he's in general population. He's been with her and he works for that gentleman back there. If we could get him out on a PR bond and not have him in custody to do the competency exam. And we do release instructions where he's picked up by her tomorrow at another time.
if I bring him out, can we talk to him or no?
You can talk to him, but he's gonna be talking about things that are not relevant.
Okay. How old is he, Lauren?
He's 20. He just he'll be 21 December 1st.
What's he been doing with his life?
What he's been doing since I just he just started living with me.
Is it recent? Has it always been like this? Was there a catastrophic event that?
From his father and his grandmother. Yes, sir.
What happened?
I'm not his father.
Has he already always had mental health issues is what?
Not sure his father gave him some drugs, like some.
Father gave him drugs?
Yes, it was embalming fluid, yes, and it messed him up, like.
Did he give him?
So,
Is that,
PCP.
right, will you dip a cigarette and then smoke?
Yeah, he used to play sports, he used to play football and just,
That's so sad. Where's dad now?
in prison.
Good.
Yeah.
At least now we know that son's protected, although problem is he did the damage while he was out.
Yeah.
How long is he gonna be in?
He's supposed to be getting out sometime, I guess, I don't even know, sometime this year I know of.
Because, I mean, if I let him out, I had serious concerns about him having contact with dad. I don't want him to have
No,
contact.
he don't want to have contact with his father. I mean, I don't talk about it on his father, but he knows what his father did, like, you know. He stays with me now,
Where was he before?
with his dad and his grandmother. They always wanted to put him in a psych ward.
Should we have him evaluated by a doctor here to see what the proper, Lori, should we have him evaluated by a doctor to see what the proper care is?
I am getting him evaluated for competency. That's what the plan is to do. The mother has a concern of him waiting in jail to do that. And they don't have the money to afford the $15,000 bonds. And so they asked me to see if they could get them reduced.
Problem is that you have to understand, you let him out, he doesn't show up to court. He just doesn't.
Yes, sir. Now that I'm informed of it, he will be in court. He will go and take his mental evaluations, his whatever is he has to do. I'll make sure he gets it done.
Good morning, Mr. Swearingen.
Good morning.
How's jail?
It's jumpy.
Yeah, it's not a fun place, right? Your mom wants me to let you out, but when I let you out, you never come back. The problem I have is that I would love to let you out, but I know if I let you out, I'm not going to see you again until we arrest you. And that's a problem.
Sir, have a seat. Have a seat, please.
What do you want to do with your life, Mr. Swearingen? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do in life? Do you want to do anything? Talk to me. It's okay. I want to help you. I don't want to keep you in jail. I want to let you out. But I have to know that I can trust you and that you're not going to be a danger to anyone. Can you help us with that? If he's housed in general pop now, is it possible to move him to a different location?
They make the assessment, I believe, in the jail. I can make a request to our social services.
I can do a court order and we can do whatever we want. If
you can do the court order, you could probably ask for it to be placed in the MSU housing. The only thing is, before they do that, he'll have to be reevaluated by the doctors there in the jail. Then at that point, if they find that it's viable, then they will put him there. Matter of fact, he's here.
I mean, Lori, we can kill two birds with one stone here.
Yeah, he's on the 5th floor. He's not on that floor. He would have to be on the second floor.
Is that the MHMRA floor?
Yeah, that's half of that floor is for that.
I don't know. What do you think? Problem is that this has happened already 4 or 5 times now, where we've let him out and he doesn't show up.
Well, the last time he was let out, I couldn't find him for 47 days because I was calling the jail and the jail told me that he was incarcerated and he had a court date, but the whole time he wasn't even here. He was sitting on the bench for like 3 days waiting on me to pick him up. He didn't have no phone number. He couldn't find his way home. So
I'm happy that you're here though. It helps a lot because, I mean, if you weren't here, you being here shows me that you care and I want to help you and I want to work with you, right?
I mean, whatever stipulation, whatever I have to do to make sure he's home and like I'll get his everything in my medication, whatever. I just worry about him being in here.
If I let him out, is he gonna listen to you? That's one of my main concerns. Yeah, I can let him out, but is he gonna listen to you? If I let you out, are you going to listen to mom? What happens if you don't listen to mom?
No court.
Back to jail. I'm not going to play this game with you again, Mrs. Swearingen. If I let you out, the only reason is for you to stay with mom. You live with mom and you say yes to her rules. It doesn't matter if it makes you mad. You listen to mom. Because if you don't, I will put you back in jail and I'm not going to do this again. Do you understand?
Sure.
I'm not asking for much. All I want you to do is just behave. Be nice. It's not hard. If you get upset, find another release. Don't beat someone up. Don't threaten. Go outside and run. Go play basketball. Beat up a tree, but not a person. And be nice to them. Lori, I'd like to have him tested and I want to give him a curfew because I don't want him out in the middle of the night.
Okay.
What do you think about a monitor? Yay or nay?
Orange boys.
We need more.
Mom says fine.
Once you get a male orange cat fixed, if you don't get him fixed, he sprays. But they're very, very, it's like you can watch the orange males, two brain cells rub together sometimes. They're very, very cuddly and they're very, very lazy. They don't like to exert any energy unless it's to eat or if they want attention. If they want a male orange cat wants attention, you have to pet the cat because he will keep at it. But no, they are chill. They are completely chill once they're fixed.
An electronic monitor.
So that we know where he is.
Yes, sir.
He will get it prior to release so that we know it gets on. He's gonna have a curfew of 9 or 10, whatever you think is appropriate. He must attend all doctor's appointments and take any prescribed medication from a doctor, and he's got to stay with you and no weapons. And the only reason is because you're here. And I'll tell you now, I'm not going to do this again. I will not do this again. If you leave, if you start using alcohol or drugs, you do something you're not supposed to, I will put you back in jail, and I'm not going to do this again. Do you understand, Mr. Swearingen? Okay. Look, life is not hard. Okay, just a couple basic rules, and if you can follow them, everyone's happy, including us. If you ever have any issues, Lori can always help you out, and she can get a hold of me, and anything can happen. We can make anything happen. All right? Have any questions?
No, sir.
You seem like you're doing great. You're doing great. Just keep it up. Are you taking any medication now?
I take medicine for pain.
Good. Keep taking it. It's working. Don't stop. That's something else that I want you to do. I want you to keep taking the medication, okay? Okay, Mom. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right. You got it.
Judge keeps getting more and more and more kids in his family. Yeah, they say how female orange cats are so rare. I got 3 of them, 4 of them. I have a couple of them. So I don't even know. I don't even know why they say that because all the litters that we had, there's just always been girls in the litters, always, and they're so tiny compared to the boys. They look like you think like, oh my God, there's something wrong with this cat. No, no, she's just a girl. Leave her alone. She's just a tiny little thing. My fully grown her name is Spooter. She's a fully grown orange cat. She's only like this big and she's real thin. She eats. I make sure that she eats, but you know, eating isn't a high priority on her list. Sleeping is. Sleeping is a high priority on all of my oranges lists. Now the black cats or the striped cats, they just need to run around and destroy everything. My gray one, the one that you see the most, he didn't want me drinking coffee yesterday. He spilled it right on a power cord. Now we love talking about animals, Kay. We do. We can't help it. I go to work and I just want to go home because there's animals here. I guess there's animals at work too. Yeah. Oh well. Well, guys, I'm gonna try to get the real Kentucky tomorrow, not the Texas Kentucky. I'm gonna try to get Maine, although I'm coming up blank right now, unless I do a Supreme Court thing. There's lots of Supreme Courts. And then I'm going to get the llama. I'm gonna stop what I'm doing and get the llama right now. That way I have it ready. And there's no. Are they? I'm trying to think if I have a male cocalico. Nebs is a girl. I can't think of ever having a male cocalico in my whole life, and I've had lots of cats. I am too. I am too. Like, I'm telling you, before I woke up, well, once I woke up, I did not want to stream. I woke up at like 11 p.m. yesterday, and I didn't have anything ready. I watched a whole bunch of court cases throughout the day, a whole bunch, and came up with nothing. And I thought, oh my God, these are all crazy. There's nothing happened. It was all boring, 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 boring. So everything I found between 11 and 4. And I just wanted to go to bed. By the time 4 o'clock came, I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna skip it. I'm gonna go to bed. But I'm glad I didn't because I had all those clips. And Judge Fleischer, it's always great watching him work with Mom, especially with mental health issues. Nobody works with people with mental health issues, and they need to. But all right, I'm gonna put my outro on, and then I shall see you all in Fleischer's court in just a couple hours. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, mods. You guys are great. Here we go.
Got these lights that goes digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her street sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted charm. In a way, there's no alarm. Freedom tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle she lights the way. Her eyes mirror sky so blue. In her jokes there's a truth so true. With each string she brings the light, turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted charm. In a way, there's no alarm. Screaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom, eyes blue like a summer's moon. Her humor dark and twisted charm, in a way there's no harm.